Genesis chapter 24. And Abraham was older, advancing of days. And the Lord blessed Abraham according to all things. And Abraham said to his servant, to the elder of his house in charge of all his things, Put your hand under my thigh. And I adjure you by the Lord God of the heaven and the God of the earth, that you should not take a wife to my son Isaac from the daughters of the Canaanites, with whom I live among them, but only unto my land, of which I was you shall go, and unto my tribe, and you shall take a wife for my son Isaac from there. And the servant said to him, If at any time the woman wills not to go back with me into this land, shall I return your son into the land from where you came forth from there? And Abraham said to him, Take heed to yourself that you should not return my son there. The Lord God of the heaven and the God of the earth, who took me from out of my father's house, and from out of the land of which I was born, who spoke to me, and who swore by an oath to me, saying, To you I will give this land and your seed. He will send his angel in front of you, and you shall take a wife for my son from there. And if the woman should not want to go with you into this land, you will be clean from this oath. Only you should not return my son there. And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham his master, and swore by an oath to him on account of this saying. And the servant took 10 camels from the camels of his master, and from all the good things of his master with himself. And rising up, he went into Mesopotamia, into the city of Nahor. And he rested the camels outside of the city by the well of the water, towards late in the day, when the women came forth drawing water. And he said, O Lord God of my master Abraham, prosper the way before me today, and perform mercy with my master Abraham. Behold, I stand near the spring of water, and the daughters of the men living in the city come forth to draw water. And it shall be the virgin, whoever I should have said, Incline your water pitcher, that I might drink. And she should have said to me, You drink, and I will water your camels until whenever they cease to drink. This one you prepared for your servant Isaac, and in this I will know that you executed mercy with my master Abraham. And it came to pass, before completing his speaking in his mind, that behold, Rebekah came forth, the one born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, and brother of Abraham, having the water pitcher upon her shoulders. And the virgin was good in the appearance exceedingly. She was a virgin, not a man knew her. And coming upon the spring, she filled her water pitcher and ascended. And the servant ran to meet with her, and said, Give me to drink a little water from out of your water pitcher. And she said, Drink, O Lord. And she hastened, and lowered the water pitcher upon her arm, and gave him to drink until he ceased drinking. And she said, Also to your camels I will draw water, until whenever all should have drunk. And she hastened, and emptied out the water pitcher into the channel, and ran yet again unto the well to draw water, and drew water for all the camels. And the man studied her, and remained silent, to know if the Lord prospered his way or not. And it came to pass, when all the camels ceased drinking, the man took earrings of gold, worth up to a drachma scale weight, and 2 bracelets, and put them upon her hands. 10 pieces of gold scale weight was their weight. And he asked her, and said, Whose daughter are you? Announce to me if there is by your father a place for us to rest up. And she said to him, I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, whom she bore to Nahor. And she said to him, Also there is much straw and fodder by us, and a place to rest up. And the man, finding favor, did obeisance to the Lord, and said, Blessed be the Lord God of my master Abraham, who abandoned not the righteousness and the truth from my master. The Lord indeed prospered me to the house of the brother of my master. And running, the maidservant announced in the house of her mother about these words. And to Rebekah there was a brother whose name was Laban. And Laban ran to the man outside near the spring. And it came to pass, when he saw the earrings and the bracelets upon the hands of his sister, and when he heard the words of Rebekah his sister, saying, So spoke to me the man, that he came to the man standing by himself by the camels near the spring. And he said to him, Come, enter, blessed of the Lord. Why stand outside? For I prepared the residence and a place for the camels. And the man entered into the residence, and he unharnessed the camels, and gave straw and fodder to the camels, and water for his feet, and to the feet of the men with him. And he placed near them breads to eat. And he said, No way will I eat until speaking my words. And he said, Speak. And he said, A servant of Abraham I am. And the Lord blessed my master exceedingly, and he was raised up high, and he gave to him sheep, and calves, and silver, and pieces of gold, and menservants and maidservants, camels and donkeys. And Sarah, the wife of my master, bore one son to my master after his growing old. And he gave to him as much as was his. And my master bound me by an oath, saying, You shall not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, in which I sojourned in their land. But unto the house of my father you should go, and to my tribe, and you shall take a wife for my son. And I said to my master, Perhaps the woman should not go with me. And he said to me, The Lord God, in whom I was found well-pleasing before him, he will send out his angel with you, and prosper your way. And you will take a wife for my son from out of my tribe, and from out of the house of my father. Then you will be innocent concerning my oath. For whenever you should have come to my tribe, and they should not give her to you, then you will be innocent concerning my oath. And coming today upon the spring, I said, O Lord, the God of my master Abraham, if you prosper my way in which now I go by it, behold, I stand near the spring of water, and the daughters of the men of the city came forth to draw water, and it will be the virgin to whomever I should say, Give me a little water to drink from out of your water pitcher. And she should have said to me, You also drink, and to your camels I will draw water. She is the woman whom the Lord prepared for his own attendant Isaac. And in this you will know that you have done mercy to my master Abraham. And it came to pass, before the completing my speaking in my mind, straightway Rebekah came forth, having the water pitcher upon the shoulders. And she went down to the spring and drew water. And I said to her, 'Give me a drink.' And she hastened to lower the water pitcher upon her arm from herself. And she said, 'You drink, and I will water your camels.' And I drank, and she watered the camels. And I asked her and said, 'Whose daughter are you?' And she said, 'I'm the daughter of Bethuel, son of Nahor, whom Milcah bore to him.' And I put on her the earrings and the bracelets about her hands, and finding favor I did obeisance to the Lord. And I blessed the Lord God of my master Abraham, who prospered me in the way of truth, to take the daughter of the brother of my master to his son. If then you do mercy and righteousness to my master, report to me, that I might turn to the right or left." And answering, Laban and Bethuel said, "From the Lord came forth this thing. We will not be able to contradict bad or good. Behold, Rebekah is before you. In taking her, run, and let her be wife to the son of your master, as the Lord spoke." And their words having taken place in the hearing of the servant of Abraham, he did obeisance upon the ground to the Lord. And the servant brought forth items made of silver and of gold. And he gave clothes to Rebekah, and he gave gifts to her brother and to her mother. And they ate and drank, and he and the men being with him went to sleep. And rising up in the morning, he said, "Send me forth, that I may go forth to my master." And her brothers and mother said, "Let the virgin remain with us about 10 days, and after this she shall go forth." And he said to them, "Do not hold me, for the Lord prospered my way. Send me, that I may go forth to my master." And they said, "We should call the maidservant, and should ask by her mouth." And they called Rebekah, and said to her, "Will you go with this man?" And she said, "I will go." And they sent forth Rebekah their sister, and her possessions, and the servant of Abraham, and the ones with him. And they blessed Rebekah, and said to her, "You are our sister. Become for 1,000 myriads, and let your seed inherit the cities of your opponents." And rising up, Rebekah and her handmaidens mounted upon the camels, and went with the man. And taking the girl Rebekah, he went forth. And Isaac was traveling over through the wilderness by the well of the vision. And he dwelt in the land towards the south. And Isaac came forth to meditate in the plain towards the afternoon. And looking up with his eyes, he saw camels coming. And Rebekah, looking up with the eyes, saw Isaac, and she leaped down from the camel. And she said to the servant, "Who is that man going in the plain to meet us?" And said the servant, "This is my master." And she, having taken the lightweight covering, put it on. And the servant described to Isaac all the matters which he did. And Isaac entered into the house of his mother, and he took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. And Isaac was comforted concerning Sarah his mother.